2 I-Team investigation.
The News 2 I-Team has learned the town of Mount Pleasant went through its legal budget for a second year, making a mid-year adjustment of $250,000. We first began tracking the town's legal budget spending last year when multiple lawsuits piled up against the town. The bills fall to you, the taxpayer. The I-Team watching how your money is being spent, and investigator Rebecca Collette joins us with the concerns one viewer brought to the I-Team.
Good evening. The letter I received reads in part, the town's lawyers are ripping the town off. Nobody is watching or seems to care. Legal fees and contractual services are way over budget. So I started researching the budget and the multi-million-dollar contract paying for attorneys.
Several lawsuits the town is fighting added together is enough to blow the town's legal budget mid-fiscal year, requiring a budget amendment to keep up with legal fees and attorney salaries.
And I can't imagine sitting in the mayor's seat with the lawsuits that we've had without the team that we have.
Right now, the town is defending 3 active lawsuits against big developers. Target spending on legal fees was $175,000 in the fiscal year, but already the town spent more than $223,000. Or 127% of their budget. When I asked the mayor about it, she said all of that isn't going into the pockets of the town's contracted lawyers.
Additional legal fee really addresses the outside experts, the depositions.
According to an itemized list of expenses obtained by News 2, expert fees alone cost the town $85,000 between August and January. Extra fees to the town's contracted attorneys accounted for a little over $82,000, who are preparing for 2 separate trials.
They don't have to log their hours. So how do you know you're really getting what you're paying for?
We're getting more than we're paying for.
And the mayor says the town's getting a good deal on their 4-year contract. I compared other municipalities. Mount Pleasant's population falls between North Charleston and Somerville. North Charleston pays their contracted part-time attorney a retainer of $2,500 a month and $200 an hour. Somerville pays their contracted part-time attorney $3,000 a month and $150 an hour. Mount Pleasant pays each contracted full-time attorney a retainer of just over $16,000 a month plus $185 an hour. All the communities hire extra lawyers when needed for specific cases. While lawsuits account for roughly 1% of total spending, they represent money that could be used to fund other projects.
Does $500,000 buy you a rectangular ball field? Absolutely. Do we need more of those? Sure we do.
Most of the town's legal issues deal with changes to zoning and development, changes the mayor says residents demanded.
What has happened here is that we have made decisions that have affected us that are being settled in court. Those decisions were at large based on what we heard from the constituents, the people who lived here, the residents.
The town did have money and reserves, expecting lawsuit costs to pile up during this fiscal year. So from the town's perspective, they had budgeted the money for these fees, even though it wasn't included in that line item they adjusted in January. Rebecca Collette, News 2.
We also want to remind you, if you have something you want the I-Team to investigate, just email us at iteam@wcbd.com or call that number you see there. It's our hotline, 843-216-4949.